Here's what you should know about your local housing market in this week's Market Update. We're seeing a ton of changes in the political landscape with the new Trump administration. And one of the things that they are vowing to do is to decrease the cost of housing. Now, one of the promising things is they are acknowledging and proposing solutions that address the supply issue, which is really the root cause of the rapidly increasing home prices and the lack of affordability out there. It really is a supply issue. Most of the solutions that we have seen attempted and proposed in the past had to do with artificially adjusting interest rates to affect the mortgage interest rates, and also provide some sort of first-time home buyer or down payment assistance, which really was a bad idea. It might seem like a good idea on the surface, but all that's going to do is cause the home prices to inflate at an even greater rate and negatively affect inflation. So it is promising to see that they are acknowledging and understand the cause of the affordability crisis in housing. However, it will be interesting to see how that plays out, because a lot of the solutions they are proposing have to do with opening up federal land for building and easing up on some of the regulations for building, making the cost to build less. However, where we are here in the Northeast, there really just isn't a lot of land to build on in the first place. So opening up that federal land might help nationwide, but I don't see that having much of an impact on us in the Northeast. And same with easing some of the building regulations. That will help for new construction, but we really don't see a ton of new construction around here. Most of the inventory that we have is existing homes, and finding land to build on really is a challenge. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these things play out. I'm not optimistic that they will alleviate the affordability issue around here in northern New Jersey. But that being said, let's see what's going on in the market, our local market, this past week. Once again, we are touching on local market stats for Morristown, Chatham, Madison, Harding, Marsh Plains, Mendham, Chester, Bernardsville, Basking Ridge, and Randolph. So interestingly enough, we're seeing numbers kind of all across the board this week. We're seeing a lot of interesting stats. My analysis is that likely has to do with a kind of a sputtering start to the spring market, or what is eased into the spring market. I expect to see a lot of fluctuation, because some weeks we're going to see some towns way up, other weeks we're going to see other towns. I think that's going to simply be as we ease into our more active spring market, some towns are going to hit a week or so earlier than others. So I think it's going to appear to be a greater divide we've seen between certain localities or municipalities over others. But as the next few weeks shape up, I anticipate that's going to kind of level out. That is assuming that the market is remaining steady, which I really think we are seeing. The only other reason that we might see these stats not level out in the direction that I'm anticipating is if the market is easing up and buyer demand is decreasing and inventory is relieving. Then we might see some of the more western towns see more numbers with list to sale price ratios with under 100%. But that being said, let's see what's going on with the towns this past week. We saw 21 homes come on the market this past week in these towns. Morristown came in the lead again with the most number of homes listed this week at 8. Overall, we saw 14 houses and 7 condos or townhouses. Average list price of homes in these towns was $1,025,000. We saw the highest average list price in Bernardsville. It was actually one specific home. They only had one home come on the market at $2,849,000. And second place was Madison, with 2 homes on the coming on the market this week with an average list price of $1,075,000. Total inventory is down 12% this week. We have 139 homes actively on the market in these towns. Once again, that is down 12% from last week. Most homes on the market, we have the highest number of inventory in Mendham with 24 homes actively on the market, and the lowest is Marsh Plains with 4 homes actively on the market. But overall, majority of these towns saw a decrease in their inventory. A few stay remained steady. The only town with an increase in inventory was Morris Plains with a 33% increase, but that had no homes come in the market last week and 2 homes come in the market this week. Sold homes. We saw 18 homes sell this past week in these towns. That's a 38% increase over last week. The most number of homes sold was in Madison. We had 5 homes sell. Most of these towns only saw 1 home sell this past week. Average list price in these towns of homes sold was $1,185,000. Average sale price in these towns was $1,179,000. Average list to sale price ratio was 102.3% of list price. So homes on average sold above list price. It may not appear that way based on the total average sale to list price of the total towns. However, the list to sale price ratio that we use is an average of list to sale price ratios, not a list to sale price ratio of the averages, if that makes sense to you. So we saw the highest average sale prices in what were they this past week? In Chester, average sale price was $1,840,000. Second place, we had Madison with an average sale price of $1,757,000, and then Harding with an average sale price of $1,597,000. We saw a surprising number of towns with homes selling on average below list price. Not much, ranged from 95 to 99% of list price. Those towns were Harding, Morris Plains, Mendham, Chester, and Bernardsville. All saw homes sell for an average under list price, which is the most towns that we've seen with an average sale price under list price in a very long time. However, all the other towns did see homes sell above list price, with the highest ones being we saw Basking Ridge, where homes sold for an average of 116% of list price, and then Morristown and Chatham with 107% of list price. So that's where we really saw the biggest divide this last week. I'm really curious to see how those numbers likely will level out over the next few weeks. So let's keep an eye on that. Average days on market for these towns for homes sold was 43. Most number of days on market was in Mendham at 113 days, and the lowest number of days on market was in Basking Ridge with 3 days on the market. Under contract, we saw 33 homes go under contract this past week. Average, that number is up 136% of last week. So we saw a lot more homes go under contract, which is promising. Average list price of these homes that went under contract was $1,052,000, and the median days on market for these homes was 22 days on the market. So once again, really interesting to see how things are shaping out, and I'm really curious to see how things shape out in the coming weeks. I have some inventory coming to the market. I know a lot of my colleagues are working on stuff. So as we approach the unofficial start of spring market of Super Bowl weekend, and likely see more inventory come in the market, I'm hoping to see some more consistency across the board with what these stats will show. So I'm looking forward to keeping you up to date and giving you my analysis on that. Thanks for checking in with me. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys again soon.